Opportunities don't come in conventional careers. They come in unconventional careers. They come in unconventional roles, and you got to take that risk. Why does everybody say that? How many, you have millions of people in India. How many of them are successful? How many of them can set up their own companies and become successful? Only those who've dared to dream and have not been scared to fail. I was never scared of failing. That I think has held me in good stead.
So, welcome to the first episode of What's Ahead. I am Sunidhi Suri, and today with me I have Mr. Raj Kapoor. He is the founder and CEO of India Blockchain Alliance and India STEM Alliance. He mentors 20 plus blockchain startups across the globe, and he is also an international keynote speaker. He is called as the grandfather of blockchain in India. Currently, he is developing curriculums for four universities, two in Australia, one in Canada, and one in Europe. I had the honor of meeting Mr. Raj Kapoor in an event conducted by my college. Thank you so much for being here with me today, sir.
Oh, it's absolutely a pleasure. It was wonderful speaking at the college, and it's wonderful being with you now.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. So, starting off with, would you like to tell a little bit about yourself and your early days and a little bit about the work that you do?
All right, I'll be happy to say that. It was way, way, way before you were born. So I've been working now about 35, 37 years now. So it's a really long time. All right, doesn't matter. We are all young and old. See, I actually cut my teeth in, and I loved my life first. I loved everything excepting studies. I hated studies. All right, I was one of probably the worst students in my class. All right, always being sent out of class. I took up the passion of playing cricket. I used to play football, hockey, cricket, and I used to play very well. I used to play for my not only for my school, I used to play for my state. I started playing cricket because after hockey, after 70 minutes, you'll be back in class. In football, after 90 minutes, you'll be back in class. But cricket would go on the whole day. So I
Right.
chose that. That was my first brush with a sport, which was also became my passion. And I said, that's nice. I don't have to go back to school immediately. So I started playing, and I actually played well enough to be actually selected for Ranji Trophy. I played for Punjab
Oh my
in
God,
the
that is
like
so
yeah in
good.
70s. Yeah, that was my first brush with enjoyment. In 70s, in early 80s, I played for Punjab. You were not even born. I'm sure your parents are also younger than me. But anyways, that was I enjoyed that. Another was a team sport, so I became a really a team player. Actually, I learned my team spirit from there, and and the team was so good. I used to make half a dozen kids do all my homework. Hey, you do Hindi, you do geography, you do this. So everybody's writing was consistent all throughout because the same person was doing my homework all throughout the year. So that's called teamwork. So that was my start of it. But as we grew up, I became a little more serious about studies. And yes, when I finished my, actually, I never liked science and maths, frankly speaking. And then I came out and I did pretty well in my commerce. I was a commerce student. And after finishing that, I got an opportunity to work for the Taj Group as a management trainee.
Mhm.
I quit after 11 months because I actually got a great opportunity. While I was there, one particular gentleman, he loved me very much. He says, "You're a great guy." He used to have a lot of fun with me. I used to tell him all the nice things, nice stories, everything. He sponsored my visa to the United States and he gave me a job there. And that was my first brush with the job. And it was at an IT company. I had no idea what a computer looked like. It is a
Mhm.
software company.
Okay.
And I had no idea what is software or hardware or anything else for that matter. This was way back in the 80s, 85, 86, 84, 85, long back. But I realized that I was very fascinated when I saw the first computer, the huge, big machines, 286 machine. Oh, wow, what is this? Like a like a small baby
Right.
elephant now. I said, this is great. I mean, I like this. What is this? What does it do? Somebody taught me. And within a few months,
Mhm.
Sunili, I could actually program. I don't even have
Wow.
a technical background. I don't have a coding background. I learned programming. I learned how to assemble the computer. I could take it off and put it back in half, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I started enjoying the programs. I started writing programs. And I was not even from a background where I hated science in my school anyway. So look at that. I mean, not that it is connected with science, but still, I was not a techie. I hated maths. I hated algebra. Why is A plus B? What is this square? Why do you do it? Why do you do this? Leave him alone. Type. Anyways, that's how I started. And I worked for several years there, came back to India because I had a call. I said India is my calling anyways. Whatever I had learned in technology out there, I said, let me try and do that here. And then I started my journey in technology here. But I'm more important than technology. I make people understand how you actually, use this technology. How can you implement something, not just learn technology. I always tell my guys, hey guys, you should know how to ride your car. You don't have to fix it all the time. You can get a mechanic for it all anytime. So that's why you can get the right technical people for doing your technical stuff, as long as you know the conceptual stuff. So that's how my journey started. Started in 82, 84, still continues. Still
That's
continues. And
actually
I'm
quite interesting because a lot of people they get into tech and then they find their way into non-tech. For you,
hmm,
it's a very opposite and an interesting journey because you find your way from non-tech to
right.
tech. Yes.
Yeah. I still hate science and maths.
Oh my God, that's nice. But okay, moving on to blockchain, right? For someone who doesn't know anything about blockchain or cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, what exactly is it, and why is it the next big thing?
All right. See, actually, you might be knowing that blockchain started about 10, 12 years back as such. So I got involved in it with the lure of the Bitcoin.
Right.
Everybody was lured with the Bitcoin and the value. None of us knew what the hell it was.
Hmm.
None of us knew why it had a value. None of us knew what will happen in the future. So in around 2012, I think, in beginning of 2012, I actually purchased my first few Bitcoins, by the way. Really cheap. Okay.
Right.
I was doing well in the United States. I got a little bonus, Christmas bonus, and I went and invested it all into the Bitcoins. I said, if it goes, it goes. If it stays, people say it'll go up. All right, I said, let it be. I parked about two and a half, $3,000 around that time in Bitcoin. People call me crazy, mad, whatever. So then I said, why? Then I tried to figure out, why is this technology so popular? I mean, what's in this technology that makes it get some value? I started understanding and studying the technology. And that technology, as we all know, is blockchain. So,
Right.
as I always tell my friends, I said, listen, guys, I went in for the speculation, but I stayed back for the revolution. Speculation was
That's
crypto,
interesting. Yeah.
and the revolution was blockchain. So I
Right.
stayed
That's
back for the revolution, and that revolution of blockchain is, this is what it is, guys. It's a very simple thing. Right now, you have a basket, that's your database, and you have all the eggs here. So all your eggs are in one basket. What
mhm.
can happen? Basket can fall.
Right.
Somebody can steal some eggs. Somebody can steal the whole damn basket. Somebody can misplace the basket. Many things can happen. Your data is as vulnerable as that, it's as unsafe as that. Everything is in one place. Our grandparents keep telling us, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that's exactly what blockchain is. It actually decentralizes your data. So now your data, instead of being in one basket, is now, say, 12 pieces of data in 12 different baskets, blockchained. It's gone out now. And it uses a second principle, which I call, we all children have played with jigsaw puzzles. And just like the blocks won't connect if the informations are not tallying, just like a jigsaw puzzle. It doesn't connect if the pieces are not right. And when it connects, it makes a beautiful picture. Till then, it's just pieces. The blocks are blocks, the same way. So basically, what blockchain does is makes your data, puts it into blocks, and keeps on building the chain. And that can be an accurate chain only if the previous block and the third block match. So everything has to match like a jigsaw puzzle. So it's basically one of the best ways of securing data. That's what it started off with. Now there are many, many more things built onto it. It's decentralized data, it's immutable, and that's what makes it really, really good with every sector. It's for everybody, techie, non-techie. It's there for you.
Right. So in a way, it is a secure way of storing your data, basically.
Yeah, one of the things is secure. Now it has developed into making decentralized applications, also known as dApps. It is also, you use smart contracts, self-executing contracts, or built on the blockchain because it works on a consensus mechanism.
Right.
All work towards it. If everybody agrees, works. So that's how it is. There's a lot of development. In a nutshell, it secures data. You can sleep well. Your data in your bank is not safe right now. It's being hacked.
So, when it comes to blockchain, where do you think India stands right now? And where do you think it would be, let's say, in the next 20 years?
Yeah. I'll tell you where India stands right now. Let's take it in two parts. India looks at crypto and blockchain together sometimes, which is not true. It's talking about banning crypto. Yeah, you can ban it. It doesn't make a difference. It's just what crypto is a great use case of blockchain. It's like a vehicle on the highway. But let's talk about blockchain. Let's not talk crypto. Blockchain, I don't know whether you're aware, Sonidhi, there are about 80 to 90 projects the government of India is implementing on blockchain. Most of them in land registry, putting supply chains, e-governance, land records, titles, all lot of them. If you have, in Jan 2020, the Niti Aayog came out with a blockchain strategy, first part of a two-set document, but only the first part has come out, advising the government on what needs to be done in the blockchain and why blockchain. So that's a great document. It came out on Jan 2020. But even better was a document which came out by the Ministry of Electronics and IT, MIT, in Jan 2021. That's the roadmap. That's the blockchain roadmap for India. It's a blockchain strategy going forward. That also just emphasized the fact that blockchain is really important for a nation. Blockchain is not just an information technology, it's an institutional technology.
Right.
It's an institution. It has the power to shape the future. It has the power to shape minds, lives, and it's a socio-economic impact comes from there. That's why it's called an institutional technology. And the government of India does recognize that, whether reluctantly or otherwise, they do realize that we got to be on the blockchain. Why? Because the world is moving on blockchain.
Right.
So you have to be in sync with the world. You cannot be
Yeah.
seen as a third world country where everybody else is on the blockchain and we are not. And the same way I say crypto also won't be banned because of the same reasons. We cannot be seen as a developing country with tech savvy and still rejecting crypto. That's my opinion. And that's fine. So it's got to be, this is the start. We are on the ground floor, so to speak. There's only one way from here, up, up, and up. For the next 20, 25 years, it's going to be one way up. And I mean that at all sectors, not just the financial sector, all sectors. I'm
Right.
doing a project myself in about 7, 8 different sectors right now. So I can see that, I can see it. Okay, I'm an experienced person, but a youngster can actually see that, actually really read these documents and look at the way the country is moving. If a government adopts a technology like this, it's big. There is no AI roadmap. There is no robotic roadmap. There's no cybersecurity roadmap, but there is a blockchain roadmap.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should be an answer.
Yes. Right. So another question that I have for you is that why did you start India Blockchain Alliance and India STEM Alliance?
Yes, good question. I was in the United States where I learned everything about cryptos and blockchain because that was one of the earlier adopters of blockchain and crypto. I did a lot of projects out there. So this is fascinating. And I came and with the idea of saying, well, India can do much better. We have the brains, we have talent, we just need to harness it. Nobody knows about this. So
Right.
when I came, I started talking to people and people said, blockchain. So you're doing Bitcoin. That's the first question they asked me. I said, no, I'm talking about blockchain. Yeah. So where should I invest in Bitcoin? That was the next question. People were unaware. They could not de-link crypto with blockchain. That was the first thing. That was way back in 17, 18. What happened then? I said, okay, let me educate the people. When I started educating the people, they would listen to me. But when I said, they're not listening enough. So I started India Blockchain Alliance with the idea of getting the right people showcase the power of blockchain. That's why it's an alliance. It's an alliance of lots of partners, great partners, including Walt Disney's blockchain called the Dragon Chain.
Oh my
We are
God,
their
that is great.
we are their exclusive partners in India. When I said I will showcase what we can do, what blockchain can do, and how it is different from crypto, I wanted people to understand the differentiator as well as understand the power of what blockchain can do. And that's why I started India Blockchain Alliance with the idea of spreading the message. Yes, guys, that's what it is. This is what it does. So and that's why I started with colleges first. We need to educate them right from ground
Right.
zero. So that's why I started that.
And so, blockchain and tech, it is your passion, right? So, do you have any advice for how a person can find their true passion in life?
You got to be a dreamer. For passion, you got to dream and dream big. I never in my life dreamt I'll get into technology, frankly
Right.
speaking. And when passion comes, it's just like love. When it comes, you know it's come. It's not a chance meeting. It comes suddenly, and then it takes over everything. Uh, my brush with it was when I could actually see with my own eyes what you see something happening, and you take a deep dive, and then whenever you take a deep dive and you stay with it, your passion is started. That's your passion starting.
Right.
You do a lot of things. We do a lot of things. We do this, that, this hobby, this thing, that thing, a lot of things. But when we know that we are sticking to something for a long time, actually that's your passion. That's your passion driving you. It doesn't say, it's like Intel inside. It doesn't tell you anything. It's all inside. And you got to be a real big dreamer. Without dreaming, you will not find your passion. You will
Right.
become another rat in a race. There are plenty
Right.
of them in everywhere.
Yeah. I completely agree with you over here. Yeah. So, did you ever make like plans in life? Did you ever make like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, or did you just go with the flow?
I went with the flow. But to be very honest, when I started off, I went with the flow, and I still go with the flow. And now the flow has become from a small rivulet to a large river, and we'll ultimately merge into the sea at some point. But right now, I'm in the river stage. Right now, I'm going with the flow completely, not against the tide, with the tide.
That's so sweet. Right. So, moving on to unconventionality, right? You have a career that is quite unconventional. It's not like everybody was talking about blockchain 30, 40 years ago in India, right? So, what does it take to have an unconventional career? How do you convince the people, A, in the market, in the business? B, how are you able to convince the society, parents, everything?
All right. It wasn't difficult. First, I don't have parents, so that was not the part which I had to convince. It was my wife I had to convince first of all, and my wife said, "What are you doing? Are you doing some? What is this money laundering, or is it some ransomware? What the hell is this?" It was she was the first I had to convince. After that, everything was easy. If you can convince your wife, you're good. And she's my best supporter and best friend in crypto today. By the way, she hated it from the bottom of her heart. I told her, "Listen, I'm going to get into this space completely." I had by that time left my jobs, and I said, "Fine, this is what I'm going to pursue." And it was about 10 years back. And what I told them was, see, and then she supported me because I said, "I'm going to follow my passion. Are you going to
Right.
back me? You backed me in good times, bad times. I come on, we are okay. We won't starve." And I told her, "Hey, listen, it's unconventional, yes, but that's where in volatility, unconventional brings about volatility, and volatility brings you opportunity.
Right.
Opportunities don't come in conventional careers; they come in unconventional
Right.
careers. They come in unconventional roles, and you got to take that risk." Why does everybody say that? How many, you have millions of people in India? How many of them are successful? How many of them can set up their own companies and become successful? Only those who dare to dream and have not been scared to fail. I was never scared of failing. That I think has held me in good stead. I was never scared of failing. I was never scared of being judged. I said, hell with the world, hell with society, hell with everything. You can judge me all you want. And today, the same people come to me for advice. So what shall we do? Can we make careers in blockchain? Blah blah blah. Crypto. Bataiye sir, kaun sa le? They call me sir today. The same guys who say it's just a passing fad. It is a fad is never a fad unless if you make it your passion. It's up to you to make it.
Right. That's
So
interesting. Right. So, what is that one advice that you have for the youth or the college students across the globe?
I have a cliched one to start with, but then I'll build on that. I always say follow your dream. That's all time tested. It is therefore not for any reason they have not said it. Because if you're not going to follow your dream, you're not going to expect your neighbor to follow your dream. That's for sure.
Right.
Right? So you got to follow your dream. A, literally break the rules. Be unconventional. I'm not saying break the law, break the rules.
Right.
Break societal rules for a disruption. It's disruption which brings opportunity, it brings a thrill. And if you can cause disruption, and I'm not trying to throw a bomb here, okay, the disruption has to be in a professional work. I always believe that disruptive work will make you so passionate about it that you will keep on finding, and you then have become an innovator. Any tech innovator, anything you want to call, or a non-tech innovator, your mind becomes an innovative mind. And then, literally, the second cliche, the sky is the limit.
Right.
So that's what you should do. Just break the rules. Don't be shackled. You've done something. You want to make a podcast. 10,
Yes.
20 years back, podcast, wasting time. All right?
Right. Right.
Nobody will say that. Things are
Right.
changing. You are the change. And if you want some change, you be the change.
Right. And what do you think are the skills that college students should learn these days?
Right. If you ask me very simply, soft skills are the best skills to learn. Everything else can be worked upon. You can always acquire hard skills, but soft skills, you can be an average student and yet be a very successful entrepreneur if your skills are good. If I can convince somebody to bet on me or fund me or whatever, I need not be a techie. I need to have these skills. Right. You must also have skills for the future, of the future. And I always say blockchain is one. So always have whatever you do, blockchain is going to be in your lives.
Right.
Whatever you do, whatever. So okay, you want to become, even if you become a beauty, if you own a beauty parlor, you'll still have blockchain because the supply chain works on the blockchain. So somewhere it'll connect with you. Just like blockchain, there are many other subjects. That is the hard subjects. Enjoy blockchain, enjoy artificial intelligence. That's the hard skills. But more important, hone your soft skills. Read a lot. Read a lot. I am old school, so I never had a computer when we started off. So I used to read a lot. I used to go to libraries. I don't see kids go to libraries anymore.
Yeah.
Not their fault. You get everything on the net. Why else should you go to a
Yes.
library? But bottom line is actually read a hard copy book once in a while, even if it's nothing to do with your text, your subject. Just read it. It takes you to different dimensions, and you can use those dimensions in your work because we miss out. Read the classics. The classics all have a history of, you can connect all the classics to what's happening in today.
Yes.
Absolutely. Whether
I
you
have
read
seen.
Shakespeare, whether you read the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is one of the classic stories of strategy,
Right.
right?
Right.
So we don't think of it that way, but it is. Even if you read Aesop's fables, they're connected with strategy. They're connected with a lot of things which happen today. So read a lot. It helps you find pathways which you can never imagine sometimes, because that's what they were. Writers were dreamers. They were authors. They could
Yes.
write. They could, you know, they were vicarious. But that's how you need to be. Dream big.
Yeah, that's actually quite an interesting point. Reading, definitely, it is a habit that everybody should develop. And I think
Yes.
it's a very important skill to have in one's life. So, moving on to the last segment of our show today, it is the rapid fire round. So, let's jump right into it. The first question: three words that you use to describe yourself.
Unconventional, uncluttered, and unforgiving.
Right, that's interesting. Uncluttered.
Unforgiving to myself, not to others, to
Okay,
myself.
yeah.
Yes.
Second question: what is your hobby? What do you like to do in your free time?
Reading, reading, and reading. That's my favorite. And that's why I propagated reading for everybody as
Yes.
well.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen the benefits.
Right. So the third question: where do you see yourself in 1 year of time?
Hawaii, sitting with my wife, enjoying a beautiful retired life, possibly, and sitting down in Hawaii and giving advice to everybody. Whoever wants advice, take it from me in Hawaii or Goa. If there's a ban on travel, Goa is fine, good enough. So I see myself there. More important, I see myself as a very happily retired man. I see
Right.
that.
So the last question: one person you would love to have a dinner table conversation with, dead or alive, anybody.
Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. I always loved his wisdom. I follow a lot of his work, and if I was to give another choice of another person, it would be Swami Vivekananda, another
Mhm.
great visionary who saw a vision. If you read that, sometimes just read a simple one. Don't read the complicated stuff. You'll find a lot of real world wisdom right now.
Yeah.
And I'll add one more little thing for you. You had called me grandfather of blockchain. Do you know something? 3 days back, I got another title. I put some posting on LinkedIn. We had done some great work, some good work, not great or whatever, good work. And one of the comments was, Raj, you are the godfather of blockchain. He put. He was an American. So he's rechristened me now as the godfather of blockchain. So I was looking for my guns here and there and said I couldn't find any. I said, all right, I'll still wield my pen. That's my gun. So
Yeah.
that's me.
That's quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today. It was such a pleasure talking to you. I loved the
Oh,
entire conversation.